First story. My wife and I have been married for 5 years but together for 8. She had been acting a bit strange since January of this year. She had undergone a drastic change of appearance and personality. If it matters, we are both in our mid-30s. Sorry if my punctuation isn't great. English is my first language but I just fucking suck at it. I am attempting paragraphs though they may be in the wrong format. Anyhow, my wife was acting strange and hiding her phone, which we never do. It wasn't one thing that got me suspicious but a combination of little things. She got weird when I went to use her phone for GPS during a family trip out of state, and that was the last straw on the camel's back. I am sure my demeanor changed, and she sensed it because she got quiet and started sheepishly trying to be proactive in our conversation and butter me up. I knew my target. That phone. I did my best acting job until we were home. I probably should have done it in a smarter way, but as y'all can probably tell by now, I'm not a big thinker. I flat out confronted her and asked about her shift in behavior. What ended up going down was she started accusing me of being a paranoid asshole. She got defensive and started yelling plumb up until I picked her phone up off the dresser and tried to open it. Shit got quiet fast. There was a password on it now. We never had passwords and had access to each other's phones ever since we got our accounts. I asked her to open the phone and she started shaking but said no. I went fully on instinct and told her give me the password willingly and let's work this out. Or she can get the fuck out of my house. And I'm taking this phone to some kind of need shop. Who's going to unlock it for me for $150, and I'll know anyway. At this point she is scrambling and squirming with some sort of inner chaos, but she finally gave me the password through snot bubbles and tears. I'm not really technical when it comes to electronics, but I know what to check and how to search keywords and partial spellings. What I uncovered was very inappropriate message string with her and some guy on a muted conversation. By this time she is full on crying and hyperventilating. I am going to change the style of this post a bit to show how the conversation went down. Me, who's John XXX? Her, crying and barely able to speak. Baby, listen to me, I made a mistake. Me, who's John? Her, please listen to me. Me, who the fuck is John? Her, silent sobbing. Me, why? Her, I love you so much, I made a mistake. Me, did you fuck him? Her, cries harder. Me, reading on, lots of I love you going on here. This your new man? Do you love him? Is that his wife in his profile picture? Her, I love you. I made a mistake. I will do anything you want, please, please, please. Me, call his wife right now and tell her you're fucking her husband. Her, I can't. Me, why are you defending him? Her, he didn't do anything wrong. It was all me. Me, we are past that. You fucked another man. You told another man you loved him all the while being a colossal bitch to me. Now either you show me right here right now that I mean more to you than this guy, or you can get the fuck out and I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. Or can I talk to him first? Me, not as a married woman. You can do what you want when you're single. This snapped her out of whatever funk she was in and she called her. She didn't get through right away. She had to add her as a friend. Luckily John was mutual, but within about 30 minutes I watched as my wife tore a woman's world apart. This all happened 5 days ago. She is constantly crying and begging me for another chance. She took sick leave from her work. I don't have that luxury for my line of employment. I don't know what to do here. I can't talk to people I know as it's highly embarrassing that my perfect wife I bragged about every fucking day for 8 years had an affair. I'm not 100% on divorce yet. She does seem remorseful. I just feel less than like I'm not even a man if I can't keep my wife happy. We always did family activities and had a healthy sex life. Neither one of us liked to party and sleep around, or so I thought. I've not read the archives here much, but I did a search and saw some folks years in and calling it quits. I'm teetering here. I need someone to tell me they are happy. Also, I need to know what questions I need to be asking her. If I go off my instincts alone, this shit will burn to the ground. Second story. We've been together for 5 years, married for 2. We each have great mixed gender friend groups and we host holiday parties where we invite everyone together. I've gotten to know her friends well and I've hung out on occasion with her male friends. She's done the same with the girlfriends on my side. No issues here. But this guy friend of hers has become a concern for me. He's never come around to any of the parties and wasn't at the wedding. He's a complete mystery to me other than the time I met him briefly, when he came to pick her up for a lunch date. I thought it was odd, so once I asked to invite him to a barbecue party, she said no, he doesn't know anyone in our friend group and that it would be awkward. No big deal, just odd to me. They text each other every day and it's obvious this is one of her closest friends. The problem started when she went out with this guy friend while I was working and didn't tell me about it. The way it came up was uncomfortable too. She apologized and said it was a last minute thing and thought I'd be upset if she told me. This confused me a lot. I told her it's upsetting that she didn't say anything. She admitted that it was weird and asked me if it was weird for her to hang out with her other guy friends. Again, I'm confused and I say, when did I have a problem with that? At least I know your other guy friends and have gotten to know them. But this guy is a rando to me. The conversation went south. She got offended and then defensive when I asked her if she had hung out with him another time and didn't tell me. She gets very upset and asks if I'm accusing her of cheating. She asks me, why don't you trust me, etc. We've calmed down and established boundaries now. She's reassured me that nothing has ever happened between them and they are just friends who like food. I reassured her that I don't actually believe she's cheating, but I can't allow secrets like that. She's agreed to distance herself from this friend and we are working on our issues. I want to respect her and let her live her life, but I can't help but feel suspicious and bothered by this still. 8 of the situation? How can we re-establish full trust again? I asked if she would let me look through her phone and she said yes, but I never did. I don't believe she's cheating, and so I don't think I'd find anything beyond conversation between two friends. I definitely showed my distrust with the situation, which was the point, I guess. If she had said no to that, I would have more suspicions, so her reply helped to put me at ease. Another side story. A few months ago, I went on a trip across the country to tour some apartments as we're planning on moving soon. It was actually her idea to have me go solo so that we could save money for the later move. The next week she tells me she booked a flight back to her home state to visit friends and family. We talked about how that defeated the purpose of me touring apartments for us when we could have just bought her ticket to come with me. It's for our home after all. Anyway, so that didn't make sense, especially after I got back to tell her about my findings. She says she'll have to fly back with me again soon to tour them herself too. Immediate confusion for me. We went from saving money to now spending 4 times on flights. I never addressed this as anything more than a waste, but after the way things have transpired since then, I'm all sorts of concerned. As far as the comments suggesting she's gaslighting, if that is the case, well then I guess it's all over. I've been punked and I'll move on. For the sake of avoiding a disaster though, I'm going to avoid any more hard accusations. I don't have any proof and I'm banking on the feeling that she hasn't cheated on me. I want to trust her 100% again, but I feel like I don't have an answer yet. Update. She was friends with this person for years. Frequent dates for lunch, dinner, drinks, flirtatious texts, Snapchats, etc. She lied about the times she hung out with him. She gaslighted me throughout the whole thing, had me apologizing for even asking about him. I was a damn fool. I came home yesterday, and she had a little surprise flowers and cake set up with a letter apologizing for everything. I cried my eyes out. While I was crying, I had the thought, I'm crying because she finally confessed and apologized, but at one point, it felt like I was crying because I knew I should leave. Nothing feels normal right now. At work again today, texting her back and forth, and it feels like I'm just pretending for the sake of my normal composure at work. I'm not sure how I'll feel when I go home. I don't even know what to talk about. There's so much more that feels missing to me. We have big plans to move across the country this fall. I've already figured out my job for the new location. I'm doing all of the planning, and I'm also working 50 to 70-hour work weeks. I'm hoping she steps up and picks up the slack in other parts of our relationship, because recently my other half feels like dead weight. Third story. My wife has recently told me she is in love with someone else. Without too many details, it's someone from her past that was there for her during a difficult time. She never knew I knew they were sexual partners, and she would bring him up from time to time. Eventually she mentioned she was meeting a friend for drinks, and when I asked who, she said this guy. Of course I said no. Arguments ensued. She claimed he's a close and important friend, and that was all. Not even a week later, she makes up some excuse to go see someone late at night. She's only gone an hour, but she comes back and I can't help myself. I ask if she was with him. She said yes, but they just spoke and other people I know were there. I can ask them. More arguments. Then only 3 nights ago, she says all the stress is messing with her head and she has to go see her sister for support. She's gone for 3.5 hours and I see her return home through the window. She came from the opposite direction to her sister's. I don't even accuse her. She admits she went to his house the next day, but again, as friends to talk. I know she messages him on a certain app, and she's glued to her phone. I think I already know the answers I'll find in there. So in my time of need, I guess I'm asking, is it worth it? I'm sat here scared she will catch me taking her phone. But also, I just need to know the facts. Fourth story. I am 22, was seeing this girl, F18, for a couple months. I knew from the start she wasn't the one, because of the love bombing and massive red flags all around. Despite that, we were active sexually for the whole time and went with the flow. I was suspicious about her cheating on me, since she was constantly texting another guy, M22, and hiding the convo. Turns out the other guy was her boyfriend, and they were going through a rough patch. The guy reached out once he realized what was up. We met up and talked it all through. Long story short, she was mad I told on her, and I even laughed to her face saying I knew what was up the whole time. Fast forward a few weeks and the girl effectively manipulated the guy back into the relationship. She used anywhere from excuses saying I was unsatisfied. You filled all the boxes except one, and that's what I went looking for. Alongside a self-harm attempt that she pleasantly presented to her boyfriend as a last-ditch effort. Seems it worked and they're working through things now. I know she'll cheat again, since as a guy getting over something like that is no easy task. My issue here is, she is still reaching out and talking love and all about how it was a fantastic time. She knows I'll instantly message her boyfriend about that, and she also shared all of her passwords and accesses with him. Because of that, she always announces she's going to message me or reach out to her boyfriend first. She explained it with saying she was mad at me for laughing in her face, as well as taking her choice away of confessing the cheating herself, which I know she would have never done. Her boyfriend thinks she genuinely hates my guts and wants to get back at me, but I have a feeling she might have a deeper obsession with me. I asked the guy and he said he doesn't like her messaging me, even if it's just to F with me. She even pulled a full pregnancy scare on me and the boyfriend knew. He told me it was all fake, out of respect towards me. I really don't care much for their relationship. I know there's a good chance they'll split. What I'm concerned about is her constantly trying to tell me she really loved me and saw a future with me. Even if I call her out and say I know that's BS. Obviously blocking her is the right move, but for my own sense of clarity, what do you guys think? Is this BPD narcissist of a girl really still in love with me? I could ask her, but she gives me a totally different answer to what she gives her boyfriend. Despite that, she is still driving massive distances to see me and supposedly talk things through. Is she obsessed? In love? Psychopathic? Girl cheated on a guy with me and he found out. She now supposedly holds a grudge and keeps trying to reel me back, but I have a feeling she genuinely wants what we had back. How do I get clarity and closure?